Greetings. Our Frederick Riddle here with another episode of Christian News and Views. This is episode 2665, and this is Wednesday, and we're talking about the ceasefire. Now, this is a continually developing story, but I found a story, an article here that I found interesting. Here it is. U.S. has agreed to a 2-week ceasefire with Iran, with both sides claiming victory in the deal. The two sides agreed on the ceasefire barely an hour before Trump's deadline to obliterate the Islamic Republic was set to expire. President Donald Trump told AFP on Tuesday that the U.S. had won a total and complete victory, despite Tehran also casting it as a win for its side, and amid questions over exactly what both sides had agreed on. With uncertainty over arrangements for the reopening of the Strait of Hormuz to oil traffic in particular, Trump insisted there was a strong framework for a longer term deal. We have a 15-point transaction of which most of those things have been agreed on. We'll see what happens. We'll see if it gets there, Trump said. The war began when Israel and the United States strikes on Iran that killed its supreme leader on February 28th, sparking retaliatory strikes from Tehran and Gulf nations and Israel. The president has said in his earlier announcement on his Truth Social network that Iran had given a 10-point proposal which was workable. Iran has outlined the points as follows. And a little aside here, my opinion, but it's right in this article. This 10 points I'm going to go over is what Iran is proposing. So, number one, a commitment to non-aggression. Two, continued Iranian control over the Strait of Hormuz. Three, acceptance of uranium enrichment. Four, lifting of all primary sanctions. Five, lifting of all secondary sanctions. Six, termination of all UN Security Council resolutions. Seven, termination of all Board of Governors resolutions. Eight, payment of reparations to Iran. Nine, withdrawal of U.S. combat forces from the region. 10, cessation of hostilities on all fronts, including against Hezbollah in Lebanon. Now, there has been no confirmation from the U.S. side that these were the exact points agreed upon. Netanyahu has also said that while Israel backs the ceasefire, Lebanon would not be included. Lebanon was drawn into the conflict after Iran-backed group Hezbollah launched attacks on Israel, which has since carried out strikes, including on the capital, and launched a ground operation in the south of the country. The fate of Iran's store of enriched uranium is another key question. After a war that the U.S. president said was partially aimed at ensuring Iran could never get a nuclear weapon. But Trump insisted that the nuclear material would be covered by any peace deal. That'll be perfectly taken care of, or I wouldn't have settled. Trump said without giving any specifics about what would happen to the uranium. Trump would not say whether he would go back to his original threats to lay waste to Iran's civilian power plants and bridges if the deal fell apart. You're going to have to wait to see. So basically, what he have here is we don't have the 15 points that we offered them, but I can go through this a little bit with you, and I and put out my own opinion. There's not much here where they can agree on, so I'm not sure what is workable, and I'm not even sure that this is what they actually offered us. This is what they're telling the public. So a commitment to non-aggression. Well, contrary to what that article said, this war did not start with the United States and Israel attacking Iran. This war started some 47 years ago. And if you really want to get technical, it goes all the way back to the day of Abraham. And it will go forward from here. We might get a temporary peace for this particular action. It could be a permanent peace for this particular action. But real peace won't come for a while. So that a lot of other factors involved. Some of them that the United States won't have a role in. Number two, continued Iranian control over the Strait of Hormuz. I don't, they might be able to allow some kind of control. I don't think that absolute Iranian control can be allowed. That's just my opinion, but I think that I don't think they can safely go back to allow Iran to have that kind of control, military as well as everything else. They may have some role in it. I'm not going to say that's not going to happen, but I don't see it going back all the way. I don't see how the United States could, and Israel, especially Israel, could agree to that. But again, I'm not party to these things, so I'm speculating. Number three, acceptance of uranium enrichment. I think that is a no deal, off the table. It's dead on arrival. Number four, lifting of all primary sanctions. And going with that, number five, lifting of all secondary sanctions. There might be some modifications there, but some of these are involving war crimes. And so, and again, I don't know, those seem to be beyond the control of the United States and or Israel. Number six, termination of all UN Security Council resolutions. The United States is very powerful. The United States is home base for the UN. But that doesn't mean that the United States can dictate to the UN, especially to the Security Council, what they're going to do and not going to do. So the best that I can see there, as far as Iranian side of the point here is the United States might press the others to agree to that. But that will be up to the United Nations, not to the United States. Number seven, termination of all Board of Governors resolutions. So that I believe that's still part of the UN thing. I'm not sure what they're talking about, their Board of Governors. The only thing I can think of is the United Nations. I'd have to, I haven't really looked that one up. Number eight, payment of reparations to Iran. For what? We don't owe them a cent. Now, if the war is settled, I mean settled, really settled, then I would say the United States might be involved with other countries into rebuilding Iran. But it won't be considered reparations. It will be an investment in their future. But I just don't see us paying reparations to them. They have been killing Jews and others, and including Americans, for some 47 years. So I don't see that. Number nine, withdrawal of U.S. combat forces from the region. Now that sounds doable on just passing through it, but really is it? We have treaties with other countries, including Israel. And so that means that we're going to have forces there. And it's to our own interest to have forces there. So it might be a reduction. Go back to since I believe the war was started 47 years ago, we'll call this the current the current front, the current battle. That they might go back to the pre-current battle situation, where what troops they have and so on and so forth there. Number 10, cessation of hostilities on all fronts, including against Hezbollah in Lebanon. Well, that last one we have already heard from Israel. That's not going to happen. And so, again, this one has more. Israel has going to have some influence in this. And you got to remember, Lebanon attacked Israel. So I just don't see that as being on the table, something to discuss. So we only had a couple of things here that really have any, in my opinion, have much forward movement possibilities. And we don't know what the 15 points were that we offered. I'm pretty sure they're different than those 10. And so, let's see, there was something else I think I wanted to talk. Oh, the enriched uranium. Well, I mentioned that earlier. There's no way, that's why we're in the current battle, the current hostilities going on, basically is over this enriched uranium. Enriched uranium is talking about having uranium, having an atom bomb, atomic bomb, a nuclear bomb, however you want to say it, is tied up here. And the United States, I cannot see the United States and or Israel agreeing to that. Again, they may give them a timetable they can work on, but I think that's very important that Iran have to disarm on their nuclear front. So there's a lot of things. There's going to be a lot of give and take here. Do I believe that the 2 week ceasefire will result in a peace treaty? Peace treaty. I'm going to give a two-part answer to that. My first part's no, because Iran cannot be trusted. That's number one. They are so bent on having an atomic ability, atomic war ability, nuclear, being nuclear, I don't care how you want to express it. They are so focused on that they will lie through their teeth if it would just buy them enough time to do it. And so this is something that uh, I just feel as though it will be a stumbling block. They have not been humbled yet enough, apparently. They still want to talk as though they're winning the war. So, so my first answer is no. I don't see this leading to a broader, more permanent peace. It may lead, on the other hand, it could be a yes, but that yes would mean leading to further peaceful ceasefires. In other words, they could have one followed right after another. They agree here and they say, okay, we've made this progress. Let's continue this and keep extending it. As long as they're talking and as long as there's pieces holding, okay, extend it. But I don't see United States under Trump, and I don't see Israel under whoever leads there giving allowing Iran to have that kind of weaponry. Now, Israel is believed to have nuclear capability themselves, and so it might be to their best interest, right on that issue, not to have a rival in that, because it is their trump card. Excuse me, playing words, I didn't mean it. But so there's a mixed response to that question. But overall, it's got to be a no at this point. I just don't see much hope uh, for a permanent ceasefire. But for progress, for temporary peace, for extended ceasefires, those are all possibilities. And I hope they do take place. You got to remember that from a biblical viewpoint, there's going to be a day when Russia will, along with its allies, which undoubtedly will be Iran and China, they're going to come against Israel from three sides. Even Egypt might be in part of that and come up from the south. And so Israel will be under attack. And with even though they have they're not going to have, my understanding is they will not have a ready standby military at that time. Now, it could be with the Ezekiel war could take place um, before the Armageddon war. But And that's a distinct possibility. There's different scriptures that would point to that. And it could actually start before the tribulation period. Again, there's scriptures that point to that. And so these are things that which we're all speculating on. Different people have um, different views on what that means. But right now, Israel is at war. Right now, Israel would not even consider disarming on the mere word of a people who have been proven over the years, over the decades and centuries, to be dishonest and liars. Um, so I don't know what's going to happen there. I do think that peace is always worthwhile pursuing, so long as you're not pursuing it to the degree that you're willing to endanger your own people for a peace treaty, which may or may not be true. So, what do I really believe? Well, I believe that this is an opening. You might say this might be the opening political stanza. This might be the opportunity to bring a segment of peace to the land. But I wouldn't get my hopes up too high. The Iranian government is no more responsible, no more uh, reliable, and no more uh, simply we cannot trust them any more than we can trust Putin. Putin has shown that he is not to be trusted. And whether their generals are lying to him and he doesn't know it, or he knows it and doesn't care, he has led his nation into a very pitiable situation. He has shown that Russia is not winning that war. They claim they are, but a few inches a year is not the same as winning. And so this war could continue, that war could continue on for decades, no matter what Trump does or any other president or prime minister, whatever. The thing is that Trump, President Trump, is a negotiator. He's a successful one. But here we're talking about something other than just a simple military peace. We're talking about a peace that you can build upon. And so I don't know if that's going to happen or not. The one we have down in Iran, that one is also kind of up in the air as to what is going to happen. But the United States has again shown its might to the world. It might have surprised a lot of people to find out that we're saying, hey, stop. You're not going any further, not past this point. We've always said, drawn a red line and then watched it cross. Trump, it's an interesting thing in the paper, or in the article I was reading. They talk about him backing off and changed his mind and so forth. And the implication is the way they say it, the implication is that he can't be trusted on the red lines. Well, that is an outright lie. Trump has held fast on his red lines. But he has done is he has negotiated with Iran. And so Iran they'll deny this, but they have backed down. When they back down, then Trump eases the pressure, but keeps it up, but not nearly as hard. They back down some more. He eases up. It's sort of like Teddy Roosevelt had to carry the big stick. Um, it's sort of like a bluff that is not a bluff. Trump knows how to bluff, and he can bluff without a deck of cards behind him, or he can bluff with them. And he's got a whole deck of cards available of actions that he can and cannot take, mostly of what he can do. And so it's finally getting through the Iranian people, especially the leadership, that claiming victory is one thing, but they're going to have to start putting some stuff out there that the rest of the world can really see, or they're going to lose the diplomacy war. You could say in some ways that they have a very strong presentation in public relations, but they've also brought on the wrath of other countries by attacking them, countries that were not involved in the attack. And so Iran has lashed out on some, which you might call innocent parties and non participating uh, parties, countries. And so they're losing the public relations war in that sense. And so they need to do something. And one of the things that they can do is start negotiating honestly and to recognize, sooner or later, they got to recognize they don't have much left to fight with. They got missiles and drones, and they're coming from North Korea and China. And I'm sure that sooner or later, we're going to shut that little caravan down. But in the meantime, Iran would be wise to find agreement, try to save face as much as they can, but make agreement with the West as to what they can and cannot do. Well, that's it for today. I hope this has been somewhat informative and encouraging. It's not all that encouraging, I admit. 2 weeks is just 2 weeks. And so you have to take a first step. And I think that's what this was, a first step. And we'll see how the steps going forward are after this. So anyhow, this has been hopefully somewhat encouraging, informative, and inspirational. And remember, folks, the Lord has all this in the palm of his hand. He not only has us, his people, in the palm of his hand, he has our future in the palm of his hand. And he knows what he's going to do. He knows it's not. He knows what he's not going to do. He is more. The Lord is in charge, and nobody else is. President Trump and his Israeli allies have more to say about this than the Persia does, and Iran does. And so it just goes down the road. Iran would be very, very wise to take stock of where they are. And if they continue on this, and they got to know by now that Trump says what he means and means what he says. And so with that said, we're going to lay it to rest for today and just wait and see. I know you're getting tired of hearing that, but that's what we have to do is wait and see how things develop. You have a great day. I'll see you in the next episode.